Hi everyone, Leslie here from Red Alt Key, bringing you another exciting tutorial in our Docker Fundamentals series. Today we're diving deep into Docker Compose, the tool that will transform the way you work with multi-container Docker applications. Let's jump right in. Before we start, let's ensure that Docker Compose is ready to go on our machine. So we're going to open up the terminal, which I already have open here, and then we'll type docker compose version, docker compose, docker separated from compose with a dash, and then double dash version. Okay, I think in my case here, docker compose may actually be two separate words. Docker compose. In my case, I have docker compose 2.24.2. This checks that you have Docker Compose installed on your computer. If you don't have it installed, head over to the Docker website. With Docker Compose, managing multi-container applications becomes a breeze. It's all done through a simple YAML file, eliminating the hassle of multiple commands. So let me show you how. I'm going to create a new folder, compose test. And I'll cd into it, and I'll create a new file which is called docker compose, and I will use the nano text editor. Nano docker compose.yml version. Good. 8 services, and the first one is going to be web. Image that I'll use is Nginx latest. Heads up, so you'll notice that version starts at the very beginning of the file, meaning the leftmost edge, and services does the same. However, when we indent in twos. So from here is 1, 2, that's where web is, and whenever we indent from web, it's going to be another 1, 2. So from the very beginning, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. After image 1, 2, 3, 4, we define the ports. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dash space, and it's going to be internal port 80, and that's external port 80 and internal port 80. We'll come back here to change this because it might cause a conflict. Volumes is storage, where it will store its data. User share Nginx YAML. Then 1, 2. This is the next service. The first service was web, up there on line 3. The next one is database. Image is Express latest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Environment. This is where we store the environmental variables, and in this case it's going to be password information, and we're just going to call it secret. Okay, so we'll do. Okay, so we have created two services. One is web, which is using the Nginx web server. It's on port 80 internal, which is in the container, and 80 on the Docker server where I'm hosting it. And it will store all its contents here. And then the next service is the database, which uses the Postgres latest image, and it has an environmental variable of Postgres password set to secret. So the YAML file, which is this file that we're in right now, it is our blueprint. So Docker Compose uses it to configure each service, which is the web and the DB service, exactly how we need them to run, including the images that we want to use. So it's time to get our application running, and what I'll do is close this and save it. And then we have to make sure that we are in the same folder where that Docker Compose file is, and then we'll run docker-compose up -d. -d allows us to run that as a background service. Press enter. What did I miss? Okay, I think I remember. Docker Compose here runs as two separate words. Downloading both images, creating local copies of those images, and then it's creating the network that these two services will be using, which is called compose test default. So it took the name compose test from the folder in which I created the Docker Compose file. Let's see what's running. I'm going to clear the screen and type in docker compose. Yes. So our Docker Compose service is running, and Nginx, the web server, is running and it's at port 80. We have successfully launched a multi-container app with Docker Compose, but Docker Compose doesn't just stop there. It simplifies management too. So to stop an application that's running, we will run docker compose down, and it has shut down the two containers. We run docker compose ps, it's not running anymore. So it stopped and removed the containers, the networks, and any volumes that were created. And that wraps up our Docker Compose tutorial. You've seen how to define, run, and manage multi-container applications using Docker Compose, all with a few simple commands. Thank you for watching this tutorial on Red Alt Key. I'm Leslie, and it's been a pleasure guiding you through Docker Compose today. Stay tuned for more tutorials, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Alt Key for more tech insights. Until next time, bye.